My name is Philip Warren, and I run a photography studio and a wedding photography company. So my story is a little bit different to possibly some of the people you might have seen or if you heard from on videos. This isn't the career that I actually chose from the start. This isn't something that I've been doing a massive amount of time, but my journey through art and design has always come back to or helps me do what I do currently. So I'll kind of start from the beginning and just work my way through my career as quickly as possible. So I done art and design and technology for A-levels in Trogi Comprehensive. Art isn't my strongest point, I'll be totally honest with you. So I kind of done that to help my design side of things, because that's what I had the passion in, was in the kind of design space in product design. So it allowed me to express my designs and my things that I create in a better way. So after school, in terms of like my results, I had a B in design technology and a D in art. So you can see from there that I'm not the best at certain things. There's certain aspects of art and design which for me I was stronger at, and then there's certain aspects of it which I wasn't as good at, and I think that's typical really. But that's one of the good things of the next part of my journey, was to go to foundation course in Treforest to do the foundation course in art and design. The beauty of that course is there's parts of it which specialize in different areas and aspects of art and design. Some of them, I'll be totally honest, I hated. Some of them I really enjoyed. Some I had to question why we were doing things at the time, but that's often the case when you're in school, I guess. Not always do you agree with everything you're being taught, and you kind of question why you do it as well. But looking back now, I wish I did pay a bit more attention, and I wish I did sort of understand why I was doing certain things, because it's funny how things come back around, and you learn from smaller aspects of your experience, and you can apply it to what you're doing now. So whilst I'm a photographer now, I spent my first 10 years working as a product designer. So after foundation course, which probably some of the lecturers would probably agree that I wasn't the best of students, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a product designer. So out of that, I just needed a pass to get into the course that I wanted to do in university. So I actually done product design in Nottingham Trent University. It's a 4-year course, with the third year being a sandwich course with work placement, which if anyone does any courses and they get to choose, definitely take an option of work in industry, because what you learn during that year is incredible. I worked for so I done my degree, and I started working as a product designer or a design engineer then in a medical industry. Not the most glamorous of jobs, but I think at that time you kind of you gain whatever experience you can get, and also having a job allows you to do other things, so you can follow kind of different passions and different side jobs, or different hustles, if you want to put it that way. And one of those things for me was photography. I ended up working for Olympus, the camera company, for 8 years, designing keyhole surgery products. I've never used an Olympus camera in my life, but I never even got offered one. But that job allowed me to eventually do this and become a photographer, because I could use some of the money to buy kit and gear, and then that developed and got more got busier and busier with it, and sort of just sort of developed into where I am now. It allowed me to quit my job and then run my own business, which is two businesses actually. so this is commercial photography, and then I run a wedding photography company as well. But the interesting thing was, now I'm sort of revisiting aspects of, the history of art, especially when it comes to things like lighting. I'm being lit here, but a lot of that technique is based on the old kind of artists and the way that they would portray people. I mean, Rembrandt is a perfect example. I mean, Rembrandt lighting is synonymous really with the types of lighting for photography. So without knowing those sort of things, I wouldn't be able to understand kind of where or things I would do in terms of how to light people and make sure people look as good as they can. So jumping back a little bit, I worked for a number of different design consultancies as well. So within that, you'd have product design obviously being one, but also packaging, graphics, branding. So things like the logo you see there, that's done by a graphic designer, and then by a sign writer. It encompassed pretty much everything that I've learned, from sketching right the way through to Photoshop techniques and presentations and stuff. So in terms of like careers, there's so many different things you can do, and if you're unsure what you'd like to do, I highly recommend the foundation course. For me, that was like it. I wish I'd paid a bit more attention, because ironically, one of the modules within foundation was photography. And during that time, I thought, no, that's definitely not for me. And now I'm a photographer. There's so many different careers and different things you can do out of art and design. And that's not necessarily what you would be doing initially. It might be something that you follow as a second job or something, which you then can turn into something a bit more permanent, kind of like what I've been able to do over the past few years. So hopefully that helped. A little bit different, maybe. Look, if anyone wants to get in touch, then obviously speak to your teachers and let me know. So yeah, good luck.